And welcome to the water cooler, everybody. I'm David Brody. Thanks for joining us. It's Monday, January 30th, 2023. And look, if Paul Revere were around today, he'd be riding into every hamlet, town, and city in America and exclaiming that the globalists are coming. The globalists are coming. Folks, if we thought King George was bad, this guy makes King George look like Mr. Rogers. Klaus Schwab and his evil minions at the World Economic Forum are searching for you. And more importantly, they're looking to control every aspect of your life. One of their latest technology innovations is literally monitoring your brain thoughts by strapping on a mechanism that allows them to interpret your brain waves. They ain't gonna find anything up here, FYI. And no liberals, by the way, I didn't get this out of a conspiracy cookbook, all right? This is from the actual WEF themselves. Here's Anita Farahany from Duke University explaining how all this really cool stuff works.
After all, what you think, what you feel, it's all just data. Data that in large patterns can be decoded using artificial intelligence. We're not talking about implanted devices of the future. I'm talking about wearable devices that are like Fitbits for your brain. Earbuds, headphones, tiny tattoos that you can wear behind your ear. We can pick up emotional states like, are you happy or sad or angry? We can pick up and decode faces that you're seeing in your mind. Simple shapes, numbers, your PIN number to your bank account. Meta acquired this company, Control Labs, in 2019 because major tech companies are investing in helping to make these devices universally applicable as the way in which we interact with the rest of our technology. In fact, the coming future, and I mean near-term future, is these devices being the primary way in which we interact with all of the rest of our technology. Rather than a mouse or a keyboard, you can simply swipe with your mind. While we can't literally decode complex thought just yet, there's a lot that we can already decode that's quite relevant for the workplace environment. In more than 5,000 companies across the world, employees are already having their brainwave activity monitored to test for their fatigue levels. Whether it's the Beijing-Shanghai line, where train conductors are required to wear hats that have sensors that pick up their brain activity, or mining companies throughout the world, employees are already having their brain activity monitored, and it very well may be something that we want to embrace as a society. Done poorly, it could become the most oppressive technology we've ever introduced in a wide scale across society. We still have the chance to make it right.
Monitoring your thoughts, folks. This is what they want to do. If they can control your brain, then there's no turning back. Meanwhile, the WEF is concocting their Wheel of Destruction, ladies and gentlemen, starring Pat Sajak and Vanna White as they look to change society. And of course, they need a crisis to help them. So can we take this picture full, Austin? Because I want you to look at this wheel. Will it be a new war, a global food shortage, a big cyber attack, doomsday climate change predictions, a new pandemic, or an economic collapse? Take your pick. They have lots to choose from. There is a bit of good news here. President Trump is onto them. He warned this weekend that 2024 is the best shot to save America from the left and the globalists. Here's Trump.
The 2024 election is our one shot to save our country, and we need a leader who is ready to do that on day one. We need a fighter who can stand up to the left, who can stand up to the swamp, stand up to the media, stand up to the deep state. Am I allowed to say stand up to the rhinos too? I think we can say that. I think we can say that. Stand up to the globalists and China and stand up for America. And that's what we do. We stand up for America. And that's why we had polls today come out, the best polls I think I've ever had.
You see, Trump understands that these people are nuts, like literally nuts. And one of the reasons he knows it is because he knows they crave power and that they have no moral compass. The Washington Examiner has a great article called Babel at Davos, where Beckett Adams, the program director of the National Journalism Center, writes the following, quote, "To call the summit secular would be an understatement. It is aggressively secular. Indeed, aside from the odd Buddhist monk and the centuries-old churches that pepper the Swiss countryside, Davos nearly makes one forget organized religion even exists. It's that absent from the week-long event. One gets the distinct impression organized religion is not only unwelcome at Davos, but also actively discouraged from taking part, which may explain the gathering's many contradictions and why it seems doomed for failure. It certainly doesn't seem destined for the type of success and longevity that has accomplished man's two greatest achievements in the name of liberty, self-determination, and improvement, which would be the Constitution and the Magna Carta. And sadly, the Biden administration is taking its cue directly from the globalists. Scott Powell, senior fellow at the Center on Wealth, Poverty, and Morality, wrote a fantastic article called Globalism Can Meet Its Waterloo, an 8-point plan. So here's some of what he wrote. Quote, reviewing the Biden administration's policies and forward-looking priorities, it's self-evident that there is a close correlation within the WEF agenda. He goes on to say, American citizens need to hold the majority party of the 118th Congress accountable. It's also time for Americans to take action against the globalist agenda at all levels of government. When citizens act on their own or in concert with others in a few common sense ways, we can effect course corrections on local school boards and city, county, and state governments, as well as the national level, such as stopping U.S. government officials from participating in the WEF globalist agenda. His message, folks, is correct. And it's a message Paul Revere would echo today. The globalists are definitely coming for you. And they're not only at the gates, they're inside of them.